Hello and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to be talking about everything that have been happening with the Epstein files and Donald Trump. Yes, I prepared you a really good video, and MAGA is going crazy. They are crying, they are burning hats again, because they burned hats before, but they are burning hats again. And some of them are just leaving MAGA behind. But let's roll the clips and you're going to love it.
Of course my guy deleted the client list. How else would he prove he's not on it? Genius move.
Watch this Trump supporter burn his MAGA hats after Donald Trump told his supporters to basically get over the Epstein files. Just take a look.
We're not going to play with these anymore. MAGA hats are off. America First hats are on. Burn, baby, burn. And this is a great representation of what's left of MAGA.
And the guy who posted that video on social media is a huge MAGA fan, super right-wing. It seems like so many of these Trump voters are just done with him now. This MAGA civil war is not going anywhere anytime soon. Donald Trump was really hoping that with this new statement, people would just fall into line and follow his lead. But many of these diehard Trump fans are saying, not so fast.
MAGA, I know you fucking lying.
All right, so I voted for Trump, and this Epstein thing is just insane. But I think it's showing us one thing, and that's our country is unified for the first time in a long time. And I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican, we all know this administration is guilty. So I guess that's a good thing, and maybe we can unite around this and move forward.
Y'all know he on that fucking Epstein list. Y'all been heard him say that Epstein is a terrific guy, and that he's fun to be around, and that they both like beautiful women, and he heard that he like them young too. Y'all been heard him bragging about essaying women. Y'all been heard him talking about how if his daughter wasn't his daughter, that he would date her. After COVID, after 34 felonies, now y'all want to say something? Now y'all want to start throwing away y'all flags and y'all shirts and y'all hats? Now y'all want to be doing that? After every fucking thing this man has done. After everything we know about this man. It took them not releasing the Epstein list for y'all to start turning on this man and opening your eyes and seeing that he's a fucking liar. Now everybody is... I swear. Every single last one of y'all need a knuckle sandwich. I swear for Jesus. Because it don't make no goddamn sense that y'all are just upset because y'all not getting the Epstein list. So now y'all trying to turn on y'all daddy. Nope. Y'all already picked y'all side. Y'all can't take it back. No take backs, okay? Unless y'all gonna find a way to get Dookie Booty out the goddamn office, ain't no take backs. The only way y'all getting back in our good graces is if y'all get that motherfucker out the White House. Y'all put him in there, figure out a way to get him out. Other than that, don't come fucking saying shit to us, because we don't want to hear it.
Take a listen to how Trump's own voters are describing their own emotions right now on right-wing political call-in shows.
I feel really betrayed, and I feel really, really angry. We have a president who tells us to move on from Epstein because it doesn't matter. Are you guys still talking about this seriously? And yet he still talks about the 2020 election fraud. He talks about the Hunter Biden laptop. He talks about all this stuff from 5-6 years ago, and he tells us to move on from the Epstein trial or the Epstein case. People like me will not stop talking about this. I feel so betrayed and so angry. This is not what I voted for.
I'm concerned about being able to trust Donald Trump to keep his word. In his campaign, he said he was going to let us know all of the facts about this. And now he's saying, go away, don't pay attention to it.
These Epstein files, we were told that there was going to be released. There was this client list that was going to be released. And the fact that it's suddenly gone away and he's trying to gaslight us is like a punch in the gut to MAGA.
And who is surprised that Donald Trump is in the Epstein's file? This is the excuse the MAGA is doing. MAGA, as of right now, they are just saying, okay, he's not in the Epstein files because he was in the Epstein files. Biden and the Democrats will release the Epstein file a long time ago, and I would accuse him for of being a pedo. Okay, but I have my own problems and my own says about the Biden administration and how he played by the book, the old book. The old book, it doesn't apply right now. He played by the old book, and he thought because he was an ex-president, it would not look good if he pushed, okay, for he being taken to jail. That's what Biden did. That was the way that was with the old book. Okay, the Bush, we have a lot of things that we can accuse the Bush for. Okay, things that they may should have just went to jail for. But by the old book, they didn't do that to ex-presidents. So this is, I think that's one of the reasons why Biden didn't push the Justice Department to build a case more faster against Donald Trump. But what do you think? Leave me your comments below. And I think also one of the reasons why the Epstein files wasn't released in the Biden administration is some big names, some big Democrats' name. I don't think Obama, but I for sure, none of us need to be a witch or anything like that. Foretell that probably Clinton will be there. Sorry, I bet, and I look inflamed. I just been really sick with a cold. Okay, I just have a cold and it's been taking so much medicine for the cold, and I just been trying to leave my cold behind. It have been awful, but I'm finally recovering, and I'm just swallowing, like my face is swallowing, my whole everything is swallowing. It's just like I'm just yeah, that's what happened. But I bet you the Clintons are there. I don't know if Hillary's there. I don't think Hillary, but for sure Bill is there. He was a great president. I just only had to tell you that he was a great president, but he's not okay. He has his strength and he has his weakness. Okay, so Bill for sure is in that list too. And I shouldn't be laughing because the matter is really serious, but it's just like, I'm sure he's there, okay? And yeah, of course the DT, of course he's there too, and other people that we don't know about it, but they are really powerful people, and that's what they just, one way or another one, they have been avoiding to release those files. But I think it's getting to the point that it's gonna be impossible to detain it, and I think this is gonna be one of the things that is gonna make Donald Trump to finally MAGA revolt, okay, on him. And yes, guys, please make sure that you're giving a like, and below we're just giving a like, comment, okay, help us to support liberal media, subscribing to this channel and commenting in this video and giving a like to this video. The MAGA nuts, they have all the likes, all the comments, and all the subscribe. Help us to support liberal media. Thank you, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
I was just on a live earlier, a Latinos for Trump live. There were a couple of those yahoos in there. And I saw something that is nothing short of incredible. The levels of stupidity that these Latinos for Trump will reach. It's wild. The guy is defending Trump, and he says that the list, if he's not on the list, blah, 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 all this bullshit. And I tell him, don't you think that a person of that character saying that he would date his own daughter if he wasn't his daughter will be capable of such horrific shit? Do you think what he said about Ivanka, that he would date her, is okay? And this motherfucker said, and I'm not joking, he really said this, what do you mean about the joke? And I asked him, do you think that shit is funny? You think that's a joke? It's his personality. And I'm like, you're not answering my question. Do you think it's funny? It's him. That's who he is. It's his personality. These fucking people, bro, will justify anything at this point. They're just cult members. They'll justify whatever. And the fact that it was a Latino for Trump saying that shit, bro, these Latinos are in the sauce, like, heavily. And there's nothing we can do for them at this point. They are just supporting a pedophile. They don't give a shit anymore. They don't give a shit. It can be proven and they still will find a way. They don't care. And it is one of the saddest things I've ever fucking seen. Especially from my own people. Que tengan buen día.
So let me get this straight. First, Donald Trump said that he would release the Epstein files on the campaign trail. Then the White House interns were, showing off the binders and everything, saying, here they are, we got it in our hands. To then retract that and say, no, never mind. Then for Trump to say it's not a big deal, there's no point to it, ultimately following by, it's not even real. But then changed his tune and blamed the Democrats, saying it was a Democrat hoax. It's a witch hunt from the Democrats. They're the ones who caused the Epstein files. To, hey, there's nothing in there that's that important, guys. Then having Mike Speaker Johnson literally thinking he could get away from the Epstein files by having Congress go on recess for a whole month. Now that Congress is back, there's full steam ahead of the need for the Epstein files to be released. And of course, Donald Trump today calling it a Democrat hoax once again. He said there is no need for it. It's not relevant. Meanwhile, the women, the victims of the Jeffrey Epstein, came forward today and they were making testimonies. And the one who said she's a Republican and she demanded that Trump meet her at Capitol Hill to show her, or she wanted to show him, that it was not a hoax. But he won't do that. We know that. So now the question comes, will this administration finally be truthful about something and just release the files that they promised to do while on the campaign in 2024? Or will they continue to hide it? And honestly, it makes them look guilty every day that they try to cover it up. This is the biggest corruption I've ever seen from any political party. Just be honest, be transparent, release the files, and we can all move on. What do you got to be afraid if you're not a part of it, Donnie?
If he is on the list, let's say if he is, wouldn't they have thrown this out there early on before he was ever running and elected? Wouldn't the Democrats somehow dug deep, found it, and just plastered it all over the New York Post or whatever? Why haven't they turned it out there?
Would it have made a difference to you? Because he's a 34-time convicted felon, and that doesn't matter to you.
Yes, it would have.
He's been accused of, and that doesn't matter to you.
Yes, it does. Stop it.
So why does this?
It would have made a difference. All I'm saying, if it's really there, Democrats would have dug deep, found it, and showed us. No one showed us.
Look, again, I think there's a lot of people on that list. I don't think there wasn't just a list of Donald Trump. The guy, there are Democrats and Republicans that associated with him. And there's a lot of people that are, and I don't know why it never came out earlier or what it was or there. But the thing is, it wasn't like they had this list before he was arrested either, right? So, it wasn't really out there before.
So the Epstein files were the last straw for you guys. I've heard this question asked of MAGA a lot today, and honestly, it's valid as fuck, because after everything this motherfucker has said over the last 10 years, how is it that was the thing that finally woke you up to the lies and corruptions. Like, as if everything else before that wasn't obvious as fuck. But here's the thing about human behavior that I need you to understand, is that when a person says that they're doing a thing, and the reason that they give you for why they're doing that thing doesn't make sense in the context of the situation, you can safely assume that's not the real reason they're doing the thing. And I can tell you right now that the Epstein files is not the final straw for them. These people have been done with Trump. They needed an exit ramp. The thing about an in-group like MAGA is that even though it is not a cult in the like clear definition of the word, it operates like a cult. And cults are psychologically dangerous to leave, and sometimes can be physically dangerous to leave. And if you're the only one leaving, you can fully expect to be completely ostracized by everyone in that group. And that could go so far as meaning ostracized by your own family, friends, and coworkers. If you're not able to move as far away from these people as possible when you decide to leave, you are in for a lifetime of hell. And it could result in you being in physical danger, because we've seen what these people are capable of. A lot of these people have been done for quite a while now, but because it was too unsafe for them to walk away from this group as an individual by themselves, and because it can be really difficult to admit how wrong you've been, especially on the unprecedented levels that MAGA has been wrong, that they needed to be able to leave in safety with other people. So the fact that some brave MAGA somewhere stood up and said, nah, the Epstein files are the last straw for me, and then that made another MAGA have the courage to stand up and say, I'm done too, and then another one, and then two more, and then three more, and then five more, and it's spreading like wildfire. These are people who have already been thinking for a minute that they're done. And the fact that so many MAGA are standing up and saying they're done is giving them the safety that they needed to finally say out loud, I am fucking done. So this is a good thing. You are right to question it, and it totally makes sense why you are, but this is actually a really good thing. And understand that it's not the Epstein files that were the last straw per se. It was just the Epstein files was the thing that caused more of them to stand up and be done at once, which gave the rest of them the safety to stand up and do it too.
Honestly, the closer we get to the release of these Epstein files, the more I'm convinced that no one on the MAGA side will think twice of Trump being in these files. Like, they just absolutely do not and will not care.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've ever had.
Are you getting it yet, Republicans? This is what he does. If he doesn't like something, he calls it a hoax. If it makes him look bad, he calls it a hoax. If he weren't guilty, he wouldn't look bad, and he wouldn't call it a hoax.
And no different than Russia, and all the other hoaxes.
Need I say more? Also, we're apparently supposed to be talking about the success with the economy. The other thing I would like to note for Republicans is that this is how it goes with authoritarians. If you don't agree with them, even if it's something you know is wrong or right, if your thoughts and actions do not fall in line with this person, they will call you, they will belittle you, they will demonize you, just like he's doing now. These stupid Republicans, he said. Also, narcissists, sociopaths, and bullies do that.
And this is just so freaking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is funny. It's so ridiculous that it's funny. He campaigned all this time because he just got off the office. When he just got off the office after Biden, assumed the presidency of the United States, he started to campaign right away like dictators. Dictators do that. Exactly like Donald Trump did. They do that. They are in a constant campaign. They never stop campaigning. And he didn't want the presidency the last time. And by the time that he just got off from the office, he was already campaigning. he was already campaigning for the White House again. And in all this time, all these 4 years that he been campaigning, he been talking about the Epstein files. All this time, release the Epstein file, and when I get there, I'm gonna release the Epstein file, and we need to ensure that we release the Epstein files. And now suddenly, it is a hoax. Okay? Yes, the Democrats are putting this together for they can go against him. It's raining and I'm getting wet actually. For they can go against him. Actually, just close the window actually. For they can go against him. Let me see. Oh, what the heck? Oh, well. For they can go against him, and he just making a mess of himself. It is crazy. It is freaking crazy. It is a hoax. The Democrats are doing a witch hunt on him. You got that? And this is the thing. The victims of the Epstein, they just went in a press conference, and he just right after, he just went to his press conference to say the Democrats are doing a witch hunt on me. They are trying to hunt me down with these things of the Epstein files. Okay, of course he is there. Do you guys have any doubt about it? And this is what MAGA say. MAGA say, oh, because of the Democrats, they never put charge on him when he was the president. For sure, he's not there.
We have some breaking news. The White House is sending warning shots towards any Republican who decides to vote for the release of the Epstein files per Thomas Massie and Representative Ro Khanna's new discharge petition. Now, there's a lot that we don't know about this entire Epstein case, a lot. But we do know one thing, and that is that the current president of the United States damn well does not want any of these files released, and I'll prove that throughout this video. Not only yesterday did MAGA Trump hardliner Representative Nancy Mace go running out of a meeting with the Epstein victims, crying and shaking, literally having a panic attack, which we will cover in just one moment. Representative Nancy Mace stormed out of the House Oversight Committee, the closed-door meeting with the Epstein victims, in tears. We'll cover that, but I want to talk about what happened overnight, because again, White House officials are giving a warning shot to any Republican who signs Massie's discharge petition, telling Cami Mondo, a reporter, that it would be, quote, viewed as a very hostile act to the administration. Full statement coming from the White House officials. Helping Thomas Massie and liberal Democrats with their attention seeking, while the DOJ is fully supporting a more comprehensive file release effort, would be viewed as a very hostile act to the administration. For reference, 4 Republicans have signed so far, and I guess in Trump's eyes, committed a very hostile act. Now, they are such purity-testing hardliners that if you don't fully support, I guess, Jeffrey Epstein and covering up the list, you are hostile to the administration. We have on this list Lauren Boebert, one of Donald Trump's biggest fans, Marjorie Taylor Greene, literally a Trump superfan. We have Nancy Mace, again, a Trump superfan, and the person who ran out of the meeting crying. And then Representative Thomas Massie. These are all, those are the Republicans that have signed thus far, along with a lot of Democrats as well, because Democrats actually believe in transparency regarding the Epstein files. I want to remind everybody before we go on to this next section, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is not only working overtime to cover up the Epstein files, but even before this was mainstream again, he was working overtime to cover up Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz was a Republican representative who Venmo'd a bunch of 17-year-old girls, allegedly. There was an investigation from the DOJ. It was all proven to be true, and Mike Johnson made sure to cover it up. So I never want to hear Republicans talking about save the children ever again. Representative Thomas Massie, a Republican himself, said, "The White House says helping me secure a vote to release all of the Epstein files is a, quote, hostile act."
At this point, it cannot get more transparent and clear then this motherfucker is on the list. If you really still have doubts about this, you're living in a dream world. The White House just communicated with NBC that any Republican who signs the act designed to release the Epstein files, the Transparency Act, is going to be considered as a hostile act against the Trump administration. He's literally acting like a mafia boss, telling people, if you don't kiss the ring and you snitch on me and you allow these people to get into my shit and discover that I am on the goddamn list, there's gonna be hell to pay. This motherfucker is telling this shit to the national news. This is insanity. And now I believe that they're trying to get 6 votes from the GOP. That's really all they need. If they manage to accomplish this, this is going to be one of the greatest things you'll ever see. And to make matters worse, now the victims are saying that they're going to make their own list, that they are going to be the ones putting out this information of the victims that were affected by this and anybody that had to do anything with this, so that the United States can see the truth behind this garbage human being that is called the President of the United States, John. And I can't fucking wait. Que tengan buen día.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
That's not what the survivors are saying.
I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings.
It's actually sad that she has to identify herself as a Republican just to receive any form of empathy. She made a great point mentioning that this is not a political thing, because it shouldn't be. This is clearly not a hoax. This is a deflection.
We are 2 votes short of getting the Epstein files released.
Right now, Republicans have a decision to make. If you really want to be the party that cares about life, then vote to have the list released. Get it. You're the party that stripped healthcare away from their people. Are you really the party of PDF files? You know what? Ask and answer. Because everything Republicans always leads to them touching kids. Christianity. Full stop. Not only that, of course, the guy that wants to lower the consent to 14, the same guy that wants to protect his pedo friends. Honestly, if we do not get those 2 signatures that we need to release the Epstein files, Republicans will always be known as the pedo party.
Well, I'm really in shock about everything that's going on. I'm very, very disappointed. I'm really proud of MAGA, though, the base standing up and saying no. That makes me so proud to be a part of this group. We're not one man, we're a whole nation.
I'm going to make a response to this comment that liberals are not going to like, and I'm a liberal. We need to let them back in. We need to treat this as what we've been calling it. They've been brainwashed, it's a cult, they've been lied to, they believed it. He's willing to admit it, and I'm proud of him for that. Nobody likes an I told you so. Trust me, I want to be the person that says I told you so in my life. I am that person. But we need to unite, because this country is going down if we don't. And they are 2 wings of the same bird, because they're all making money off of us. And it needs to be we the people again.
So the Oversight Committee decided that they were going to release some files from the Jeffrey Epstein case. Unfortunately, 96% of that has already been released. Already known, already seen, already given out to other people in those little binders, if you remember. But let's take a look at what most of the documents actually look like. Yeah, that's your documents. So much for providing transparency. But there's something else going on today. There are survivors from Jeffrey Epstein that have spoken out today. And what is the Trump administration trying to do with Thomas Massey's release of all the files?
The president's called it a hoax. He's called it a hoax. I hope he doesn't say that after tomorrow when 10 of the survivors testify in public. That would be very disrespectful.
Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? Transparency is justice. Release the files. End the secrecy, and stand with us in declaring that no one, No billionaires, no politicians, not world leaders is above the law. And let me announce now, several of us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list of names. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors.
And that's right, because today, as many as 100 Epstein victims attended Washington. Many of them spoke to the committee. As you've seen there, some of them were speaking out outside. There's more than that. I just chose that one because they're going to put together their own list of the people they know abused people. But the Trump administration is saying that anyone who joins Thomas Massie in releasing these files, because it will come up for a vote, they would be viewed as a hostile act to the administration. He is threatening, Donald Trump is threatening anyone who joins Thomas Massie in voting yes as a hostile person to the administration. Well, I hope he knows that Taylor Greene and others have joined Thomas Massie in releasing these files. So is he going to say Marjorie Taylor Greene is a hostile person to the administration? Because she has signed, and so is Boebert. Now, I don't like those two, but I commend them for joining Thomas Massie. But it's funny, a person who says it's all made up, it's all bullshit, is fighting so hard.
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen, and I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax.
Yeah, they're so made up, such bullshit, that Maxwell's sitting in prison. Albeit a better prison because you let her go to a different, more cushy lifestyle prison. But yeah, she's in prison for made up documents. Okay, right. I say we put you under oath. Raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth. You'll plead the fifth more times than Al Capone ever did anything.
So a Republican lawmaker has introduced a petition to release the Epstein files. They need 218 votes. We have 212 Democratic votes. And we only have 4 Republican votes. Only 4. We need 2 more, which would have to be Republican. And we don't have that. Maybe somebody will change their mind. Maybe they'll grow a heart. But isn't it crazy that everybody says it's a Democratic hoax, but all of the Democrats have voted to release the Epstein files? But the Republicans are holding out? If it was all Democrats, or if it was a hoax, why would Democrats vote to have them released? And why would the Republicans not want to release them? The way the Republican Party is choosing to handle this is really giving I'm innocent, but refusing a lie detector test. If you have nothing to worry about, release the files. Release the files.
Trump supporters don't understand that even if there's Democrats on the Epstein list, we want them arrested too. The difference between us is that we don't support pedophiles. You do. Trump's on the list, but you defend him till the fucking end. That's the difference between us. We don't care who it is. If you're a pedophile, go to fucking jail. It's that simple. But no, Trump's innocent. Trump didn't do it. Shut the fuck up. He's on the list.
Congress is voting to release the Jeff Epstein files, and every Republican, other than 4 Republicans, have said no. They don't want to release the Jeff Epstein files, and it doesn't make sense to me. I know Donald Trump's not on the list. And by the way, I voted for Donald Trump, and I trust Donald Trump, and I'm MAGA. And if Donald Trump was on the list, he would have been prosecuted in 2016, 2020, 2024. So what's the purpose of not releasing the Jeff Epstein files? The House Ethics Committee released like 50,000 documents yesterday, hoping that a lot of people like me would be satisfied with just that and we'd go away. But the truth is, I don't want 50,000. I want all of it. In the same way that those 50,000 documents blocked out the names and the victims, why can't you do that with the other 500,000 files or whatever else is left? Like, what are we hiding, and what's the reasoning behind the Republican Party saying no? And why are we threatening to primary people that says no? Like, what are we doing? Donald Trump's Department of Justice told him in May that he was in the Jeff Epstein files, and if he would have came out and told all of us, hey guys, this is just like the Russia hoax, this is just like Butler, Pennsylvania, this is just like the 2020 election, that's more believable, and we could stand behind him during that process if he would have went that approach. But that's not what Pam Bondi and Donald Trump did. What they did was, Pam Bondi specifically, oh my gosh, like, she just tried to cover it up. She released a document saying there's no relevant information. Like, that's not believable. Like, you lost a lot of our trust. And then, you know, Donald Trump went on a tear on Truth Social trying to like insult us, like insult our intelligence. We're not dumb. Like, we know something is up. And it's not something is up with the Democrats because your name is in it, you know, because like they would have used it against you in 2016, 2020, 2024. But now we knew something was up with you because you're acting like nothing's going on. Like, now, thanks to the pressure of the Republican Congress, now we're getting the truth. The Democrats manipulated it. Why didn't you just say that at the beginning?
And I'm just telling you, there is any way the MAGA can be more dummy. It is no way possible. It doesn't exist in the planet. Well, it may be some people. They can be more dummy than MAGA people. They just keep making excuses for the orange buffoon, and the excuse this time is, we know that you are not on it, because otherwise, you know, Democrats will release a long time ago. But you know, it makes sense, you know, because, you know, but they don't understand that Biden will go by the rules, and it was other people there that they were Democrats also, and powerful people that at that time they couldn't release it. But what do you think? Do you think the Epstein files will be the downfall of Trump? Do you think the Epstein files will be the way the Donald Trumps go down? The Donald Trump go down? Or do you think that this is like, for MAGA, this is nothing is gonna happen? That they just don't care that he's a pedo. They don't care if he's anything as soon as he's a racist. Because they are clear that he's a racist. And actually, I was talking to one of my friends. She's a Peruvian. She voted for Donald Trump. But this is another, I'm just gonna make another video of that one, because I'm gonna just tell you guys few cases of my friends Latinos for Trump and how they've been regretting their votes. I'm gonna do that one next, okay? So stay towards the end.
Earlier today, something pretty incredible happened. A multitude of victims of Jeffrey Epstein's gathered for a press conference on Capitol Hill and spoke out demanding the release of names and lists.
President Trump, you have so much influence and power in this situation. Please use that influence and power to help us.
Make us feel like our voices are finally being heard.
Why do we continue to cover up sexual abuse and assault? Who are we covering for? Let the public know the truth.
I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax.
Seems pretty simple. Even a Republican there asking Donald Trump directly to release the information. Donald Trump was asked about it by the press, almost as it was happening, and this was his response.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
Not only did he once again, as literal victims are just steps away from where he's sitting, call it a hoax. He also had a military flyover that was very noisy and like drowned them out at one point. It's not sure if that was like planned specifically because of them, but at the very least, it should have been scrapped with them out there trying to do that. When I tell you this is bipartisan, Democrat Roy Khanna was out there for this press conference alongside Marjorie Taylor Greene. He even commented, I never thought I'd be doing a press conference like alongside Marjorie Taylor Greene. They both kind of laughed about it because even she's like, this is disgusting. This should be coming out. You know who else was disgusted? Nancy Mace, who met with some of the victims, left in tears and said she had a full-blown panic attack from what she heard. One could argue that what upset her was the realization of what's actually going on, of who and what your boss is. As you clearly think that this kind of thing should be stopped and have to sit on your hands because the boss said so. I'll tell you this, as I was going to record this, I got a message from Roy Khanna on TikTok letting me know, hey, if you're making any posts about the Epstein list, we're 2 votes away from releasing that list. In the meantime, however, the victims have stepped forward and they had something to say. They said, hey, we know their names. We're going to make our own list. Because the reality is, it's not like a list in the sense of a little black book where there's a bunch of like clients and stuff. No, this is about the fact that this was a very large, detailed like thing he was running. It takes more than just Ghislaine Maxwell. There were a ton of people who not only participated, but also helped this happen. Helped victimize children. Those people's names have not been revealed. Those people have not been convicted. And they have a very specific skill set, and now they're just out in the world. At the very least, living life without consequences, and at worst, possibly helping someone else like Jeffrey Epstein do this because they know how to do it. 2 votes away. 2 votes away. Who's going to be on the right side of history with this thing?
And we just made it towards the end of this video. What do you guys think? Leave me your opinion on the below in the comments, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Help us to support liberal media. Help us to grow this channel. We are family. We just growing this channel together, so help us to support the growing of this channel. And just leave me your opinion below about the Epstein files and the whole Trump situation. Thank you for coming. You guys take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.